Did you know that every single box of mac and cheese sold in the United States contains food additives that Europe has banned for years? And yet, despite these concerns, Americans consume over 1 million tons of this creamy golden comfort food every year. What makes this dish so irresistible? And what secrets are hidden behind that familiar orange glow? Let's peel back the box and uncover the story of mac and cheese from ancient origins to modern factories, and then step into the fiery world of Frank's RedHot, the sauce that transformed simple chicken into an American legend. Mac and cheese may look like a simple dish, but its legacy stretches back centuries. Its earliest ancestor appeared in 13th century Naples, known as de lasagnese, a humble mix of pasta and grated Parmesan. This recipe spread across Europe before arriving in America. In the late 1700s, James Hemmings, an enslaved chef trained in France under Thomas Jefferson, introduced a refined version to the United States. But the dish didn't truly transform until 1916, when James L. Kraft patented processed cheese. By 1937, his company launched the first boxed mac and cheese, offering families an affordable shelf-stable meal during the Great Depression. It was quick, cheap, and comforting, exactly what America needed at the time. Today, millions of boxes are produced every year, but how often do we stop to ask, where do those ingredients really come from? The truth is both fascinating and a little unsettling. Just one truckload of milk carrying antibiotic residue can shut down an entire factory line. That's how fragile large-scale food safety can be. It all starts with wheat and milk, the backbone of every box. The wheat is durum, prized for its high gluten content and firm texture, grown mainly in North Dakota and Montana. Each shipment is carefully checked for impurities, moisture, and hardness before milling. The milk comes from regional dairy farms, tested repeatedly for antibiotics and microbes before unloading. Only the highest grade milk makes the cut. And none of this happens casually. Temperature-controlled trucks and real-time sensors track every detail. Because when food is produced for millions, safety begins long before the factory. Once inside the plant, the real transformation begins. Wheat is cleaned with air classifiers and vibrating sieves to remove dust, stones, and stray seeds. Then comes tempering, adding water slowly over 6 to 24 hours so the bran softens while the inner endosperm firms up, making milling smoother. The milk undergoes its own rigorous journey, spun in centrifuges to separate cream, flash pasteurized at 72 degrees Celsius for just 15 seconds to kill bacteria without hurting flavor, and then standardized for fat content. This ensures that every box of mac and cheese tastes the same, melty, stretchy, and familiar. From here, wheat turns into pasta, milk into cheese. The wheat is milled into semolina, kneaded with water, and extruded through bronze or Teflon dies to form hollow macaroni. A rotating blade cuts each piece before it moves into drying tunnels, where hot air removes moisture without cracking. Meanwhile, milk is mixed with bacterial cultures and rennet, forming curds and whey. The curds are cut, stirred, salted, and pressed into blocks. Some cheese ages for weeks, others are processed immediately for a smoother melt. But here's the controversial twist: many U.S. manufacturers still add titanium dioxide, a whitening agent that brightens cheese powder's orange glow. The European Union banned it in 2020 over genetic toxicity concerns, but the FDA continues to allow it in small amounts. That means your favorite comfort food carries an ingredient Europeans won't touch. To make cheese powder, the liquid sauce undergoes spray drying, blasted into a chamber at over 180 degrees Celsius, where it transforms mid-air into fine orange dust. This powder is tested for color, moisture, and flow before packaging. Pasta and powder are boxed separately, pasta in one compartment, cheese powder sealed in foil. At speeds of 200 units per minute, boxes are filled, scanned, sealed, and prepared for shipping. Frozen versions are stored at -8 degrees Celsius, tracked mile by mile with GPS. A single heat spike can flag an entire batch. And yet, mac and cheese continues to evolve. Beyond Kraft, brands like Banza, Beecher's, and even vegan variations compete for space in kitchens. Still, for many, mac and cheese isn't complete without an extra kick, often from one iconic bottle, Frank's RedHot. Frank's RedHot has been spicing up kitchens for over a century. It all began in the 1890s when Jacob Frank founded the Frank Tea and Spice Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. By 1920, his team created the original recipe, aged cayenne peppers and vinegar. It was bold, tangy, and unforgettable. But in 1964, everything changed. At a small bar in Buffalo, New York, Frank's was mixed with melted butter to coat fried chicken wings. The first buffalo wings were born, and Frank's instantly became part of American food history. The heat starts with one ingredient, cayenne pepper. But Frank's doesn't use just any pepper, it relies on a proprietary strain bred for balance in heat, color, and flavor. These peppers grow in regions like New Mexico, where blazing hot days and cool nights intensify capsaicin, the compound that gives chili its fire. Farmers wait until the peppers reach a deep red before harvesting, when potency peaks. Each truck hauls up to 22,000 kilograms of peppers to the plant, where batches are tested for size, color, and moisture. Nothing less than perfect makes it through. The peppers are washed in massive rotating drum washers, blasted with water jets to remove dirt, stems, and debris. Workers inspect every load, pulling out underripe or damaged peppers. The best are ground, skins, seeds, and all, into a thick mash. Salt is added to kick off fermentation, which takes place in specialized wooden barrels. How long they ferment remains a closely guarded secret, but the process softens the raw heat, deepens flavor, and develops Frank's signature tang. Every step is carefully monitored for acidity, moisture, and microbial balance. One wrong move, and thousands of bottles are ruined. Once fermentation is complete, the mash is blended with distilled vinegar, water, and Frank's secret spice mix. The recipe hasn't changed since 1920. Cooked briefly at high heat, the blend releases its sharp vinegary aroma, the unmistakable Frank's fingerprint. Seeds and pulp are filtered out, leaving a smooth, fiery sauce ready for bottling. Bottling is an exercise in precision. 500 bottles filled every minute, each one capped, sealed, labeled, and inspected by cameras for quality. Mistakes are rejected instantly. Cartons are stacked, shrink-wrapped, and shipped worldwide. During peak season, Frank's ships over 1 million bottles a week, enough to coat every Super Bowl chicken wing twice. The story of the chicken sandwich may sound simple, but it's a saga filled with twists, rivalry, and cultural impact. Back in the 1960s, everything changed when Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, introduced a fast food version that was juicy, handheld, and ready in minutes. It wasn't just food, it was a revolution on a bun. Instantly, it became a Southern staple and laid the groundwork for what would become a decades-long battle for supremacy in the world of fast food. For years, Chick-fil-A quietly dominated the category, building loyal fans who swore by the taste. But in 2019, the game shifted dramatically. Popeyes dropped a single tweet about their new chicken sandwich and chaos followed. Lines wrapped around city blocks, chicken shortages made national headlines, and the internet exploded. Just like that, what was once a side menu item became a cultural battleground. The chicken sandwich wars were officially underway, but behind every crispy golden sandwich lies a complex story of supply chains, food science, and precision. Every chicken sandwich begins with a critical choice: the chicken itself. Most fast food giants use boneless breast meat, thick, uniform, and easy to bread. Suppliers are carefully chosen under strict food safety standards, with some based in the US and others abroad on certified farms. Once processed, chicken is flash-chilled to -18 degrees Celsius, vacuum-sealed, and rigorously tested for antibiotics, bacteria, and even moisture levels before it makes its way to restaurants. And it's not just about the chicken. The bun is just as strategic. Whether lightly sweetened or baked to exact specifications, each roll is designed to complement the chicken without overpowering it. Add to that the signature pickles, sauces, seasonings, and carefully engineered food-grade packaging, and you have an international supply chain built for speed, consistency, and flavor. To customers, it looks like a 4-minute order. Behind the scenes, it's a 24/7 logistics machine. When the ingredients finally land in the restaurant, that's when the magic of prep begins. Every fillet is hand-inspected, tendons trimmed, and edges evened out. Some chains even flatten their fillets with mallets to help them cook faster and fit the bun perfectly. Seasoning then steps in to define brand identity. At Chick-fil-A, the chicken is brined overnight in a salty blend with hints of sugar, paprika, and garlic. Popeyes, on the other hand, leans into bold Cajun spices, unapologetically peppery and southern. These choices aren't just recipes, they're philosophies. Then comes the frying process, where precision becomes everything. Each fillet is dipped into an egg and milk wash, creating a sticky base for seasoned flour to cling to. At Popeyes, workers are trained to press down with both hands, even lifting onto their heels, to achieve that signature flaky, craggy crust.